So welcome you all to our online botany classes. Today we will discuss about reproduction, its definition and its types. And in this particular video, I will discuss about the asexual method of reproduction. So let us go to the process of reproduction. So as far as definition is concerned, reproduction is the biological process in which an organism gives rise to young ones similar to itself. So it is an event that occurs in the lifespan of an individual in which the parent organism gives rise to young ones, okay, which are similar to the parent. Okay, so you know what is lifespan? Lifespan means the time period between the birth of an organism up to its natural death. That includes the lifespan. Okay, so what are the importances of reproduction? First one, there is that the reproduction enables the continuity of the species. Species can continue only by the process of reproduction because the reproduction produces new individuals of the parent one. Got it? Second, it increases the genetic variability. Got it? That generally happens in case of sexual reproduction. And it also helps the species to adapt to changing environmental condition. That how that happens, that we will study in the coming videos. Got it? So now come to the types of reproduction. As far as types or modes of reproductions are concerned, there are two modes of reproduction: asexual mode of reproduction and sexual mode of reproduction. First come to asexual mode of reproduction. As the term indicates, asexual mode of reproduction means there is involvement of a single individual. Okay, and here as a single individual is being involved, there is no production of gametes. Got it? So all the individuals that are produced from their parents are exactly similar to their parents and also with each other. Got it? So these individuals, these new individuals are known as clones. So clones are asexually produced individuals which are exact copies of their parents. Got it? And most important thing is that the asexual mode of reproduction is a very rapid method of reproduction, okay, as compared to the sexual mode of reproduction. Got it? Now let us come to the sexual mode of reproduction. So what is that? Just the opposite one. In case of asexual mode of reproduction, only a single individual was being involved. But here, two parents of opposite sex are involved, male as well as female. So both individuals are involved in the sexual mode of reproduction. So here involvement of gametes comes. Got it? In the previous one we had studied that in asexual method of reproduction there was no involvement of gametes, but here gametes are involved. Haploid gametes are always haploid gametes, they fuse. Got it? You know, fertilization process that we'll study. So only remember that here haploid gametes are involved. Got it? So the offsprings that are produced, they are genetically different from each other because two individuals are involved in this process. So the offsprings that are produced, they are genetically different from each other. Got it? Now it is a relatively slow method of reproduction. It is a relatively slow method of reproduction. Got it? So there is one mistake right here. From here n is written, it should be m. Got it? So now come to the next slide. So now come to the asexual mode of reproduction. We will study in details about asexual mode of reproduction. It involves single parent, as you have already studied, and it does not involve the fusion of haploid gametes. Remember it, it does not involve the fusion of haploid gametes. So, what are the types of asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction can be of following types: fission, budding, fragmentation, sporulation, and vegetative propagation. Okay, fission, budding, fragmentation, sporulation, and vegetative propagation. So generally remember that asexual method of reproduction is generally found as far as lower plants are concerned. In case of higher plants, sexual reproduction, we will find sexual method of reproduction. In the coming slides, we will study in details about the sexual method of reproduction in case of higher plants. Got it? Now come to fission first. What is fission? It is the division of the parent body. So in this process, the parent body divides into two or more parts which are identical to the parent. Here, the parent body divides into two or more parts which are identical to the parent. Got it? It's a very common method of reproduction in case of bacteria and protozoans like amoeba, paramecium, etc. Bacteria, protozoans like amoeba, paramecium. Common method of reproduction. Types of fission. Fission can be of two types: binary fission and multiple fission. As far as binary fission is concerned, binary means two. So binary fission is concerned, here the parent body divides into two halves. The parent body divides into two halves, and each half forms an independent daughter organism, and it is found as far as your bacteria are concerned. Parent body first divides into two halves, and each half behaves as an independent daughter organism. But multiple fission, in multiple fission, the parent cell divides into many daughter cells, and all these daughter cells later develop to form individual organism. Got it? It's an example of plasmodium. Plasmodium, in case of plasmodium, multiple fission is formed. Got it? Now come to the next one is budding. What is budding? Here the daughter individuals are formed from small projections called bud. In this case, the daughter individuals are formed from small projections called buds, and these buds then arise from the parent body, then they detach from the parent body to form new individual. Good? Okay. Example is yeast and hydra. Look, in this way, if it is the parent body, the new individual gets formed in form of bud. Then this particular bud gets detached from the parent body, and it again behaves as new individual. Example is yeast and hydra. Got it? Now come to next one is fragmentation. What is fragmentation? Fragments, small sections. Got it? Here the parent body breaks into small fragments, and each fragment develops into an organism. Parent body breaks into small fragments, and each fragment develops into a new organism. Example is Spirogyra, Rhizopus, and Hydra. Got it? Spirogyra, Rhizopus, and Hydra. The next one is your sporulation. What happens in sporulation? In this process, small unicellular bodies called spores are formed. Okay, in case of sporulation, small unicellular bodies called spores are formed. On maturation, these spores get detached from the parent and develop into a new organism. Okay, some of these spores you can say zoospores, conidia, aplanospores, and remember all these spores, sporulations, budding, etc. These are happening in case of your lower organisms are concerned, not at all in higher organisms. Okay. So spores are what? These are small unicellular bodies which on maturation they get detached from the parent body and develop into a new organism. Okay. Now let us know about each individual, that is each type of spores: zoospores, conidia, aplanospores. First come to zoospores. These are motile and flagellated. Motile means they can move from one place to another with the help of flagella. Here flagella are found. That is the reason why we call it as flagellated. Here flagella are found. So with the help of flagella, they are able to move from one place to another. Got it? And these are produced inside zoosporangium. Zoosporangium produces zoospores. Got it? Example is in example where zoospores are found include fungi and algae. Fungi in case of fungi, Saprolegnia and Albugo, here zoospores are found. In case of algae, Chlamydomonas, Eulothrix are the examples where zoospores are found. Got it? Now come to Conidia. Look, in case of your zoospores, these were motile and flagellated, but here in case of conidia, these are non-motile spores. They cannot move. Okay, these are produced singly in chains. These are produced singly in chains. These are produced in specialized structures called conidiophores. The specialized structures in which the conidia are formed, they are called conidiophores. Example is Penicillium, Aspergillus, Ericyphe. These are all fungi. These are all fungi. Got it? Now come to the next slide, that is Aplanospores. These are again non-motiles one. These are non-motiles one. Example is Mucor. Mucor is a fungi. Got it? So I gave you some idea about different types of spores. Now come to last one, that is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. So what is vegetative propagation? Got it. Here I have left O here. It's a spelling mistake right here. It should be O. Okay. So vegetative propagation. Here formation of new individuals occur from the vegetative parts of the plant body. You know, plant has vegetative part and reproductive part. The reproductive part is flower, vegetative part is root, stem, leaves, etc. So the formation of new individuals from the vegetative part of the plant body is called as the what? Your vegetative propagation. He produces large number of clones in very short period of time, because here only a single individual is involved. So the new individuals that are produced from the parent are all similar to each other as well as to parent. So these are called clones, and in the process of vegetative propagation, you can get large number of clones in a very short period of time. What is the importance of vegetative propagation? Is there any advantage of vegetative propagation? Yes, there are. What are those? It preserves the purity, resistance, and good quality of varieties for indefinite period of time. Here, as a single individual is involved in this process, and new genes are not being introduced from outside sources, so the characters that are found within the parent body passes on to the next generation. There is no, this is the characters that are found within a single individual that passes to the next generation. So the genetically it is pure. That means whatever there is found in case of parent, that is also found in the offsprings. Got it? Single parent. And it is of course of good quality of varieties for indefinite. Good, if there is some good quality in the parent, that is maintained in the offspring for an indefinite period of time. Got it? So, and the crops remain true to their parents indefinitely. True to their parents means whatever the characters the parents are having, the crops possess the same character. Got it? So again, if we study in details about vegetative propagation, we can say that vegetative propagation can be natural as well as artificial. As far as natural vegetative propagation is concerned, it can occur through roots, stems, and leaves. That is well known to you. There is no need of further studies about it. So, as far as your, I am just showing the slides of these roots, stems, and leaves. Then how different types of stems are being involved in the process of reproduction. Those are very detailed process, so there is no need of that. So what we studied today, we studied about definition of reproduction, then types of reproduction, that is asexual and sexual, then what is asexual reproduction, different types of different methods of asexual reproduction. Okay, in the next slide, in the next video we will study about the sexual method of reproduction. Okay, thank you.